Hey, this is Josh Thompson. Thanks again for listening. If this content is encouraging to you, it would mean the world to us if you would rate the podcast. Your rating will help more people find the show. You can also journey with us by subscribing to our channel. And if you share it on social media, please feel free to tag me and our guests. We appreciate when you share this podcast with those you know. We are believing it will continue to stoke the fire in people again. Special thank you to Landmark Coffee Roasters, a sponsor for this podcast. If you haven't tasted their coffee, you got to go check it out. They got the best beans in Southern California. Go to landmarkroasters.com. Type in promo code STOKEHOUSE to get 20% off. That's landmarkroasters.com. Special thank you to Ola Canvas, a sponsor for this podcast. They build super durable, high-quality clothing out of Costa Mesa, California. Ola Canvas is a small business of creators making some of my favorite clothing and products on the planet because they take time to build each piece and make it with high-quality material. Check them out at olacanvas.com. That's O-L-A canvas.com. Welcome to the Stoke House. Time to get fired up. Yee! Ladies and gentlemen, Shan Ako in the Stoke House. Shan, you are a singer, songwriter, actress, known for your latest role in Hamilton in London, playing leading lady Eliza from 2022-2024. Also, Les Mis, playing É-po-neen. In 2020, you won Best Performer in Musical at the Stage Debut Awards for Les Mis. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. In 2018, you appeared on The X Factor, UK Season 15. Your soulful voice, captivating Simon Cowell, and you went on to do the X Factor Arena Tour in 2019. Incredible. You are alumni from the prestigious Brit School in England, and you also led Queen of the Night, Whitney Houston tribute show. Man, I love that. And Shan, your musical ability is truly on another level. This effortless, smooth, passionate, with a touch of joy and bright light shining through as you sing and play. If I get one touch of that musical goodness, I'd be on level 10, no doubt. And God's truly blessed you. And a lot of people don't know this, but you just moved from London to LA.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we are grateful to have you here. And you were recently married to the one and only Travis Burbanks. Is that right? Come on, Trav. Hey. And you just released your first book, The Shan Vibe.
Aww.
Daily words of encouragement, motivation, and wisdom here in 2024. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you are about to release an EP coming up here within this next month. We are super excited to have you on the show. Welcome to the Stoke House.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What an intro. Wow. Wow.
It's well, it's been a long time coming. It's like I was super excited to eventually get you to come on, and we just want to hear just all that God's done, your story. Just you've been some amazing places. Hamilton and London.
Yeah.
Les Mis, my fave. Les Mis,
yeah, it is your favorite.
It's my fave.
I love that.
Like I've only seen one musical in my whole life, in real life, and it's Les Mis. And no joke, on our honeymoon, Katie and I are in Italy. I had never seen Les Mis like in musical form through the movie. Mm-hmm. And Katie's like, you have to watch this.
Amazing.
So we're in Rome. It's late at night. We're in the hotel and we're sitting there on the iPad watching Les Mis, and no joke, Katie falls asleep. I'm like crying. Like watching this thing because I'm reminded of the grace and mercy and forgiveness of God, like on another level. Like Romans 5, 6, 7, 8 was like blowing up my mind. But you got to do all this.
Oh no, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, really to be able to make it to a level that so many desire and pursue and work their whole life to get to. I mean, it is incredible to look back and see, and you're only 31. Unreal.
Yeah.
And I say only because, you know, I'm old.
No.
But yeah, so you did Hamilton for how many years?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Wow.
And is this 2022, 2024?
Yes.
You guys just wrapped up?
This summer, yeah.
And what was that like?
That was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It was the experience I needed to get to the next level, I suppose. That it was the training I needed, that step that you need to take to just fulfill more of your potential. So that was it. And Yeah, it was a dream show to do.
And the crowds,
Amazing.
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 What theaters?
So just the one theatre, Victoria Palace Theatre in London,
Wow.
West End they call it.
How many shows each year?
Well, in total of the 2 years, I did about 600 something shows.
No. Oh my
I was
God.
counting the shows. I always count the shows.
Unbelievable. I mean, you're doing shows in your dreams too, probably, right?
Not anymore. I'm like, take a break now.
I mean, you go to sleep and the show would still be going on. That's so many shows.
It is.
Whoa.
Gosh, yeah. So 8 shows a week. Have one day off. Sundays off. And yeah, 2 shows on a Thursday and a Saturday, if I remember. Yeah.
Oh, what a run.
Training. You're an athlete.
Yeah. No, seriously. Olympic style.
Yeah. It was great. It's worth it when you love what you do and you've trained for it.
Is there a certain level, like at a certain show, like all of a sudden muscle memory just kicks in and like you can't even believe, like you're not even thinking, you're just doing?
Yeah. It does get to that point. Like quite soon on, and you have to sort of watch that because then your mind can begin to wander and you end up making mistakes or something, but you got to know, stay present, stay focused. And you really go through different seasons throughout the years. It's amazing. I absolutely love it.
I mean, you had to step back, like even as a young girl at heart, like standing there on the stage and just being like, are you kidding me? Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, especially with like my first time going on the stage and just, when you're rehearsing and they're like, okay, here's the stage, and they talk you through what's going on. And I was just looking at the Victoria Palace Theatre and I was like, whoa, I'm going to perform here. And I remember watching the show for the first time and being such a fan of the soundtrack. And then going into that theatre and sitting and watching it and you're hearing, you're just like, wow. And then the theatre's so huge and theatre's big. And yeah, it's amazing. It's a blessing.
So were any of these shows that you did, like, were you dreaming about these things as a child, like with theater? Like, were you... I mean, Les Mis has been around forever, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know the history of Hamilton, but has this been around for a very long time?
No, it started like 2015 or...
So this is recent.
Yeah.
So people who don't know Hamilton, maybe give us a quick breakdown of like this show, it took everything by storm, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of like this musical took off.
Yes, written by, was it Lin-Manuel, Alex Lacamoire, and there's more of the creative team, but... yeah, he wrote it about the founding fathers of the financial system within the US. And yeah, it's about Alexander Hamilton and what he did in the governmental system, as well as his personal life, his family, his wife, and diving into the different stories and the rivalry that he has with Burr as well, Aaron Burr, and what that was like, and exploring that and the competitiveness between them and how his life ended and what went on to happen after that.
And this came out when?
The musical came out 2015, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
2014 on Broadway, and then in London, I think it was 2017. One of those dates. Yeah.
And it took off. I mean, it became a hit. And
yeah, it's a big hit. Sold out. Prices are extortionate.
Wow.
See it.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I could have saw it. I never got to see it, but
oh my gosh.
I know. I never got to see it, but maybe one day.
Yes, you must.
Wait, does it come here to the States?
Yes, me and Travis actually went to see it in Hollywood.
You did?
We did.
Just recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was incredible. Fun. Incredible cast. And it's on Broadway right now.
Which theater? Amundsen?
The Pantages.
He's
like,
yeah.
Yes, one of that theatre in Hollywood.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. And that was an amazing theatre. Loved it.
And then, I mean, were you familiar with Les Mis, like as a child?
Was I familiar? No, other than on the TV show Britain's Got Talent. I think over here you have America's Got Talent. There was a lady called Susan Boyle, and she sang the famous song "I Dreamed a Dream," and that's how I heard the song. And
yes,
I
remember that video.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, incredible woman. I didn't even explore it or look into it after that until I was asked to audition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you asked about, was this my dream as a little girl? No, it was my dream to obviously maybe be on stage.
Yes.
And
do music
and just sing and be on stage.
Yes.
the theatre. I wasn't a theatre kid.
Huh.
I think, yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, a lot of music at heart, a lot of singer-songwriter inside.
Yeah.
And so then it's interesting to you that it took the path of musicals,
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
Wild, man.
It's amazing how you have one idea and God has another.
Yeah.
That I love that, and I see what He's doing, and I see the need, and I see how it's helped me, and how my gift has, you know, shone for others, and yeah.
Well, I mean, you said it earlier. It was like I think the reps of musical is just it's Olympic level. Like there kind of isn't anything like it where you just show after show after show after show, and it becomes so effortless that I don't know, your body takes over and you get the muscle memory that you need. I mean, I think to carry you into and discipline probably work ethic that you need to carry you into basically any place that you want. But it's really cool to know that you were just jamming with your family.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how you fall into this really high level professional stuff, because most kids start theater when they're like 5 years old, you know,
Yeah.
and work, day and night at theater trying to reach Broadway or, some type of high level musical.
Yeah, I suppose the closest I got to it when I was young was during school productions. I remember the first one we did was Annie. And yeah, just little things at school and singing in the assembly halls. Loved that. But that's it. And then, my parents, my dad had me in like ballet. I did ballet when I was young.
Okay.
And he's very into music. So
Yeah.
it was a music household.
Okay.
So I was around it a lot, but more so soul, reggae, gospel, and just the classic songs and artists.
And so you're returning back to this, or it maybe never left you. You've been doing it the whole time, not
Yeah.
returning back to anything, but exciting that you're releasing an EP. You're going to be doing 5 songs here.
Yeah,
Coming out real soon.
Yeah, it's coming out. Haven't got a date yet, but
That's exciting.
it'll be coming out.
Yeah.
And
Little sneak peek of not playing yet. We're going to have you play a couple songs, but a little sneak peek of what it's about.
it's just about what's happened in this transition of me from moving from the UK to LA. A bit of an insight into my love life, I suppose, and into just my mindset, the things I would say to myself or would write down to get me through the highlights of my life.
We're excited to hear this music. But your dad, you mentioned your dad being a musician and growing up around music, and this is kind of where it all began.
Yeah, for sure.
So your dad, is he a trained musician? Did he just grow up playing?
Yeah, he grew up playing. He's got such a love for music and just anything that moves his soul. As well as my mom, she loves dancing. She's a lover of music. Not necessarily a singer, but I think if she had the opportunity to develop that, she would have.
Wow.
She loves music. She loves dancing.
She's a creative as well.
Yeah, definitely that. And my dad, he's like songwriting and was making albums and, and had his studio. And he had a studio in the attic. So he ended up calling his company Rhythmatic, and which he had a nickname called Matic. And and now we have the company Rhythmatic. We, me and my sister
Wow.
together. So yeah. So it's good.
What did he grow? What does he play?
He plays guitar.
Plays guitar.
And he likes to do production.
Yeah.
He's a very multi-talented man. For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
He can do it all. He can play he can play the piano, he can play he can do whatever he needs to do to get something done.
Did
Do you know what I mean?
did grandparents like get him to play, or like how did he get into music as a kid?
That's a good question. I think it was the people he was around for sure. The people he'd hang around, and also maybe from going to church as well and singing there.
Church has a way
Yeah.
of building musicians.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think with when my dad was younger, he got into the religion of Rastafarianism also. So
Okay.
and they would play the djembe drums and stuff like that. So he got into that and then started writing music and you know, his journey through faith has transitioned over the years and stuff like that. So yeah, he's got that influence.
Where did you grow up?
Grew up in London.
Grew up in London.
Yeah, Croydon. Well, yeah, grew up in, I can say Croydon, but South London.
Okay.
Balham as well, but yeah, South London.
And so born and raised there with your sister.
Yes.
Shout out to your sister.
Big up Amara.
Oh, man. You guys, she showed up like 2 or 3 weeks ago at church, and you guys sang happy birthday to my little guy.
Oh.
Remember he was like my little guy Wes.
Yes, yeah.
He's trying to learn to sing happy birthday, so happy birthday, and
So sweet.
I mean he's only one. He's almost 2, you know, but he's like starting to learn to sing.
Yeah.
And they just take off, boom, like these harmonies and like stuff. I'm just like, I mean, it was so magical. And Wes is just staring, you know, he's just soaking it in.
It's so
But
sweet.
so you and your sister in London growing up, you guys do private school, you do public school?
Public school.
Public school.
Yeah, yeah. I
In
love
London.
That
Okay.
love that you call, like, it's different for me to hear these terms as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, public school in London.
What do you guys call it?
Just school. Just going to school. Secondary school. Yeah. I think whenever in London, everyone goes to school, and if you're going to a private school or you're privately taught, it's like, oh, they're very well off, or like, you know, they're from a really, really good family sort of thing. But for us, it's just like everyone goes to school.
Yeah.
And the schools they're quite okay in London. And maybe that's why, because the schools are quite good. But I don't know. I think times have changed now. But
It's a big deal in America for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I've learned that over the past few months. Yeah.
And sadly, I mean, I went to public school as well, and I mean, you know, it was good, but it was more of a social experiment for me than I wasn't really learning much. You know, like, I mean, I had like a 3.2 GPA, but I was just messing around. You know, I'm just like doing homework during school. I'm just memorizing for tests, forgetting things, and just moving on. And like, you know, I didn't really absorb.
Yeah. No, looking back, I understand now, and I see the benefits of homeschooling and private school. I would definitely do that for my future children. And the social experiment is such a good point, because it definitely is that. And just the main thing is like learning how to work with people, and especially when you get to university, for me anyway, as well as the topic that you're studying. But yeah, when I look at some of the things you studied, I'm like, you know, algebra, where does that come into play right now?
Yeah,
And
totally.
stuff like that. So yeah, I salute anyone that's homeschooling and into that, you know, training their children in that way. I think that's the way forward in this day and age, especially because lots can happen in your school and, you know, in that time of your life. So much, it's the defining factor. And my dad would always say, like, you know, you know, your kids are so, you know, they're innocent, but once they get to the school, it's a total different story. And it's true.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that God kept me in that, you know, in that area when I was in those environments. And I definitely was focused. And I think what helped is the schooling that I got at home, you know. So if anything, I was trained at home. I was schooled at home through, you know, whether it's just learning about the arts and the music and stuff, or just life skills. That's all the stuff I gained from at home, and having present parents. And, you know, I lived with my mum, and my parents weren't together for the most of my life. I lived with my mum until the age of like 14.
Okay.
And then I moved to my dad's house.
Got it.
I mean, my sister moved first, and I was like, I'm coming, sort of thing. And we, you know, we'd visit dad on the weekends anyway, so I loved it there. And he was always like the fun place to go to.
You guys are jamming on the weekends with dad?
Exactly. It was always fun. Like, it was always something cool. Like, we're filming something, or there's outside, have friends outside, and loved playing outside, wherever it was at my mum's or dad's. So yeah, my sister moved to dad's because I think she was at that teenage age year where, you know, the assistance was needed in that area. And I was like, I'm coming. So I spent more time with dad, and mum was okay with it.
Sure.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
And then dad was like, oh, you know, there's a school down the road called the Brit School. And then it was a 10-minute walk. And then I applied for there.
Wow.
But applying for that, interestingly, I did want to go for, I wanted to tick the box of musical theatre, because they have musical theatre, drama, film. What else do they have? Media. So yeah, I wanted to tick the musical theatre box, but Dad was like, no, go for music. And, work on that because that's what you're strong at. I think my thoughts and reasoning behind musical theatre was like, oh, I like to dance and I like to sing. I'm not sure about the acting, but I like those things. So yeah, I went for music and it worked out so well. Mara was still in, she started to go to college and then I started to go to the Brit School at 14 to 18. And it was great. 10 minutes down the road.
It's a difficult school to get into, though.
Yeah, I did audition. Yeah.
You can't just walk into the school. No. But
Audition.
so you have to audition to get into the school because they want to take the best and they want to work with people who actually have work ethic and have some talent and
Yeah.
are going to get in there and get after it.
Yeah.
And before we jump into Brit School, where'd you got this work ethic? I mean, where'd you get this drive? Like, can you remember like when you were young, like, was there a certain age that just like, you just woke up and you're like, I want to do music? Like, was there some kind of transition in your mind or what? Was it just seeing your dad do it all the time that you were like, I want to do this?
I suppose it's thinking back, being at my mum's and hearing the music she'd play,
What music?
like soul music.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston,
Oh, yeah.
Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
And, just always, like, I really thank her for the joy of, like, just dancing and just, we would have this big mirror in the living room. We'd all dance. The mirror is still there.
So fun. So you dance with your mom.
Yeah, and just, like, singing and dancing and playing dress up sort of thing. And also, let's say from that
You guys
house,
still do that? Like around holiday when it's like come around, like you guys get out there, get your mom all dressed up, you start dancing in the living room? Yeah.
we're dancing,
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
And then going to Dad's and also seeing a different way of different idea of it, but again some sort of musical. He had the instruments and he was actually playing it and he was recording something, and then he get us into it. I think Dad was like, what was it? He would work on projects and he'd always go to his friend and be like, oh, can you do some backing vocals? And then he'd have to pay for it, and times are hard. So he was like, oh, you girls need to learn how to
Nice. Do some bartering, some trading over here. This is great. I love it.
So he would get like train us up, and
Yeah.
we had to learn harmonies. So he got us training, and as well as adding that our talents to his projects. We enjoyed it. We loved it, and
What was your first instrument?
the voice,
Oh, the voice.
the voice for sure.
So you were singing before you picked up the guitar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, singing, and then I don't know if it was the piano first or the guitar first, but I started learning piano as well, and I suppose it was there, and it's easier when you're like to learn the piano at first. I think because with the guitar you're like, who knows? I don't know how to hold these chords down and stuff.
Do you just remember singing from as early as you can remember? Like, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old?
I do.
When did the video start with your dad? Like, what's the first recording?
That was like, oh yeah, that's coming to my head now. I suppose, oh yeah, wow. Okay, so there's a video of my dad performing at some event, and he brought me and Amara up on stage, and then we knew his song. It was his song.
Okay.
And then the video, I've still got the video, and he puts the mic to us and we're singing with him and stuff. It's so cute. So yeah, and I must have been about 5.
Wow.
Or younger actually.
Yeah.
I was quite young. I could have been younger than that.
Wow.
I'll show you the video.
Wow.
But yeah, and then so I just always saw my dad on doing his thing on stage or at home, music,
And then you said you got some training vocally. When did that start?
that started with Dad as well. Just at home singing.
Just singing?
Yeah, he singing with him, repeating after him, or like just learning and singing the songs that he'd be recording. And I suppose we did like sing with other people. Like he had some friends, and we'd go to their it was like an office where there was like music lessons happening. There was a lady there, she'd have singing lessons and choir stuff, so I'd join in sometimes. And yeah, that's what I remember. But the
Did you
main
just have
thing,
a natural ability? Do you remember like your voice just kind of like started sailing? Like at some point, you're just like, man, like I
yeah,
don't know why I can, but I just if I want to sing that note, I want to sing that song, I'll just sing it.
kind of. Yeah, I was just singing other people's songs a lot
Mm-hmm.
and practicing. That
Mm-hmm.
was the main thing. Just kept practicing every day. I'd go to school, not even the Brit School before that. And when I was transitioning to move to Dad's house, I'd come from school and I'd record a song that I was learning. And
Mm.
he'd say, "Okay, record it in the camera 3 times
Mm.
and go, start to finish, and that's your homework," and sort of thing, as well as all the other school stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I had to do that, and like Michael Jackson songs, all sorts.
Mm. Were you aware of what was happening? Like, were you like as you're doing this, like you're recording it, like are you aware that like, like these captures are for something more, and was that there's an excitement attached to that, or were you just like, I don't know, my dad wants me to do this, so I'm just going to do it, like, or was it like, yeah, let's shoot the video, I want to go watch and see, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like the kids now with like phones and capture and YouTube and all the things, was it some of that back then, or like,
There was a little bit. There was, I think we had like a few events
mm,
sometimes.
mm-hmm.
There were competitions.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was like, he'd always have some sort of event booked in a way.
Wow.
Yeah, or some competition. There was always a competition.
Well, it's amazing because again, your dad is helping to orchestrate a lot of this, and it like
Mm,
it really took on your personality, took it on, and it is manifested like
yeah,
into a reality of your life. I mean, it's unbelievable, right?
yeah,
And I don't know. I guess the way I process it is, how much our parents involved in like helping shape their kids into becoming, whether it's a pro sports player, it's
mm-hmm,
a performer at a high level, like there are all of these different things that you can really massage and help, you can do all these things, and obviously a child's going to make the decision in the end of what they want to do, but
yeah,
it's amazing how much you can help your kids
absolutely.
achieve, things that they really want to set their mind to
Train up a child.
in the way it should go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so important. Our parents have such a imprint on our lives,
Mm-hmm.
just as how God has an imprint on our lives and
Mm.
stuff. It's so true. And the life skills that I gained from those days, I carry till now.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that to Travis. I was like, I'm so grateful. And just looking back, like the things that I didn't know what I was preparing for, but I listened and I was obedient and I honored that. And, you know, and I'm just so glad because now I can see that I'm reaping the rewards from it, or it's making life easier now, or it's opening these doors now and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So very, very, very glad for Dad and his obedience in that, in teaching us and not giving up on us, even when we were like, oh, I don't want to practice, or I don't want to do this, and putting his foot down. Sometimes it does take that, and that's fine. And telling us to practice and really pushing us and surrounding us and with music and the people that his friends were also into music. We were surrounded by it all the time, and we loved it.
Mm-hmm.
We loved it. He'd like have some. If he was working on a project, he'd do a video to it or something. Even if it was down the road at his friend's hall, who knows? Like you look back on it today, and you're like, okay, but yeah, we'd be like his backing vocalists and like dancing, and we'd like make up some moves,
I
and
love it.
just little things like that,
Totally.
including us all the way, and it's so beautiful. And I'm looking back, and I'm like, wow, that must have really encouraged him, seeing us that way, and yeah, just him just living, just being happy doing what he loves.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't make it big time or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just doing what he loves and creating, and he believed a lot in his dreams.
Mm-hmm. He made it big time through you guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
probably better than being big time is seeing your kids be big time.
Yeah,
Truly. But I don't, it's
I can
just
imagine.
I
Yeah.
just want my kids to fire, man.
Wow,
And it's the greatest joy, I want them to do well. Where do you
amazing.
get this, Shan? You got this like I don't know, this calm, like joyful, bright, kind spirit.
Oh,
Like,
thank you.
yeah, man, like Shan vibes.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, like,
yes.
like where where does this come from? Like you, I mean,
Oh, thank you.
no, I mean, it's interesting to look at people and try and figure out like, where did this come from? Like, you don't have to be this way. You've had a lot of success. You could be very arrogant and cocky and all of the rest. And you know who I am and all the thing, which a lot of the world does.
Yeah.
But it's like to remain humble and to remain, I don't know, I guess kind, like your spirit, you exude that. Like you want to, I can see that you exude that, but you also want to exude that. Like you work, you want to keep, and that's a hard mindset to have. That's a hard focus to have in life. But, you want, it does make environments better. Like I would love to be in a band with you, because you're such a nice person. It's like, who wants to be in a band with you jerk over there? Like nobody wants to be on stage with that guy. It's not fun. But it's like, where does this come from? Is this you see this in your parents? They each have a hint of some of this? Like what?
I'd say if you meet my mom, you'll meet her one day, and you'll see her personality is like very calm and very beautiful, very nice, And then I suppose my drive and everything. Can see that from my dad. And then also just honoring and being grateful for the journey. And then God.
Yes.
That's his work for my life. That's what he want. I'm just I don't know. Just enjoying life. Just taking each day as it comes, and God is really, really like being present in each day and seeing what God is doing. That humbles me, and also, I suppose, I've been like this for my whole life.
Sure.
And then people call me Shan Smile when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, that was my name before Shan Ako.
Shan Smile.
Shan
I love
Smile. I was named after Shanice Wilson.
Okay.
She sang a song, American singer. She sang a song called "I Love Your Smile,"
and
my mum loved her growing up, so she named me after her.
Wow.
And then I, what was it?
Something in the name, man.
Yeah, for sure, and yeah, just loving life. That was me growing up, happy, loving life, obedient child, love learning. Still to this day, I love learning, and just being grateful for the the highs and the lows. I went through a few like hard times in terms of like health as well. I suffered with what was it, TB when I was younger. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And that was horrific. My gosh, but God got me through.
Is this a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year battle? Is it off and on, or what is it?
It was when I was 17 till 17, just like before I started university. So I started quite a bit later, like just a few months and stuff. And then of course, it was severe time, but thankfully, I got through that. I was on medication for a while, but like it was a hard year. I couldn't sing or anything. And then, what was it? And then I started to get back up again. But it was fine because I was at university. So I suppose the 3 years at university, it took me that time to sort of recover properly. And then I was doing the Motown, so I was got back on my feet. It's the whole immune system thing, and then I had to like retrain.
Wow.
So, going through that health issue, and it was tough. And then I think, even going through a bad relationship, like, that I went through, and, you're young, and that sort of experience was terrible, unfortunately. But I learned so much, and then I think after that I got baptized, and I was like, you know what, Lord, I want to live for you. Thank you for allowing me to start again, and just I just want to start again and just honor you and what I do properly, like seriously, because I didn't necessarily grow up in a Christian household.
Okay.
It was more like with my mum, it was more like learn about your Black roots and your history, which I really appreciate, and to this day. And then we used to have like
your dad is from Africa, is this right?
No, we're from Jamaica.
Jamaica. I'm sorry.
Jamaica.
Forgive me.
No, it's fine. But he lives in Africa.
He lives in Africa. This is
in
right.
Gambia.
Okay. Yeah.
And he loves Africa.
So Jamaica is the roots.
Jamaica's the roots.
But your father lives in Africa. Yes.
Yeah. And Yeah, mum. I think my parents grew up in Christian households themselves, but
In Jamaica?
no, in
In
London.
London?
Yeah.
Wow.
My dad was born in Jamaica,
Okay.
moved to London when he was young.
Okay.
Mum was born in London, but her parents moved to. Probably her parents lived in Jamaica and grew up there, but they're here now.
But they grew up going to the church.
Yeah.
And so there was
Her
like a
dad.
form of Christianity in your home?
Yes, yeah, in some way. But we didn't actively go to church every weekend. Didn't have a church. We kind of was just in and out. And then my mum had friends like that were Jehovah's Witness, or we had random people coming in and out the house, like not in a bad way, but like you're exposed to so much
Sure.
when you look back. And that's why it's important again, like as parents. I'm not a parent, but to have a foundation set. And I think that's where it was helpful for my dad to come in the picture at the time, because he was kind of like, he went through his transition from Rastafarian to Christianity. That's when we moved in. And then he was like, I need to find a church.
Wow.
He's there, single man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's around 14 years old, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And then he was like, I need to find a church.
Pivotal moment.
So then we went to church, and then we started singing at church,
Wow.
as well as like the whole singing after school and stuff, learning and practicing. So we'd also sing in church, and we were growing in that area, which I really appreciated. And he was on his journey of seeking, and he found Christ and stuff like that. Still on the journey till this day, which I'm sure one day you'll talk to him and understand.
Love to meet him. Shout out to Dad.
Yeah. So where are we? I can't remember how we got on the. Why
Well, you had said that you got baptized because you went at
Yes.
TB and relationship breakup and some low times, and baptism came on the end of that. Praise God, and that kind of like started your
Yeah.
spiritual journey with the Lord.
Yes, because I didn't grow up in that necessarily that household until teenage years. So yeah, I got baptized. How old was I? 2017 is when I got baptized. So yeah, that was an amazing time.
So from Brit School to wait, when you say university, do you mean high school or do you mean university? University.
Yeah.
Okay.
18 to 21.
Yeah.
So I think for high school for you is our college.
College. That's right. That's
And
right.
college for you is university.
That's right. Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
Yeah,
The differences.
you know the words.
I love it. But yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Brit School though, because it's a
Okay.
pretty big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't just walk into Brit School in London, right? I mean, this is,
No.
if I tried to walk in there, they'd kick me out. They'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, you cannot be here." Like, no, watch me bang on the guitar. Sorry, sir, you definitely can't be here. No, but you had to audition to get in.
Yeah.
And how many students in the school?
Oh my gosh, loads. I can't think of a number.
Like 500, like 1,000, like 2,000?
No. 500 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So yeah, like public school here in like where I went to school, my high school had 2,000 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. It's 30, 40 kids per classroom. It's a lot.
I don't know. I can't think of a number.
Yeah.
I don't want to give the wrong one. Maybe someone can look it up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Brit School
They've pulled it up.
capacity.
But you step in at 14.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Your dad's like, she's got to get in here.
Yes. Yeah. I auditioned. I wrote my own song. And then there was another song that my dad's friend wrote, which I sang, and I played the piano.
What song did you write?
Um,
Is it still around?
no,
No.
it's called Shattered Dreams.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, I remember it. You're taking me back.
That's
I haven't
fun.
thought about these things in so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's friend wrote that one.
Okay.
And yeah,
So you played it on piano.
played it on piano.
You
I
have to do a
wasn't playing the
video
guitar
or
that
you have
much.
you have to do it in person?
Yes,
Okay.
in person, and then you do a theory test,
Wow.
music theory.
Really?
Yeah, so like reading music and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't that great at that.
I'm not good at that.
And then, but yeah, I suppose I aced the live singing part, performance part.
So they let you in.
So they got me in.
And what are your classes like?
So you still study maths, English, science, citizenship, sociology, and then you also do music. Because I auditioned for music.
Right.
And yeah, I did my GCSEs. And then I continued on into college, 17 to 18. And then I was like also doing like ballet extracurricular, and I did media as well, as well as music. So that school like is amazing to equip you to within the to equip you to go out in the industry if you're into music, and to really train you up in that area, and because you're doing performances and you work with different strands, they call it, the different classes like dance, theatre. You work together sometimes. You have those opportunities. But yeah, we put on a lot of concerts and we organised our own concerts. We wrote songs. I was in groups. My best friends are, that I found my best friends in that school who are there, who are my best friends now.
Wow.
And, yeah, we had a group together. We did a TV show together.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fun.
that was good. Shakula Soul was the band.
Okay.
Good times. And it was.
So all of the connections are kind of in that, or there are a lot of connections in that school. Like the industry is looking for kind of the next generation, like in that school. And so you're kind of interning like for potential opportunities. Do the majority of the kids who come out of that school step into the industry?
No, not
Really?
majority. Some don't. Some change careers.
Maybe some big names that have come out of that school?
Yeah. Like who's Amy Winehouse?
Wow.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Adele.
Really?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Oh, wow.
Acting wise.
Okay, so yeah, this is a pretty ridiculous school.
Yeah, I was very happy to be going there.
Wow.
And then we get to perform, and sometimes they come back and visit, and we get to perform in front of them and stuff.
Really?
Like that. Yeah, I remember
Adele?
Adele came to one. I remember
No.
that. Yeah.
So cool.
And
That's got to be wild, huh?
yeah.
I always liked her because it's like she's got the smoker, like raspy, like, and so does Amy Winehouse, I guess. Like they both got, she's like that jazz.
Yeah.
She's so good, so sad.
Yeah, I know, right?
But incredible musicians. But yeah, Adele like always seemed like kind of like an I don't care, but she just has this like amazing talent. Then she like shows up and like, finishes the cigarette and then like just like belts the thing, like just lifts the room. And you're like, that's not fair. But wow, that's cool.
Yeah. That was a great school. And I, till this day, I've visited before I came back to move to LA, and they're so welcoming, and I spoke to the students and I gave a little session with the students.
Wow.
Been back a few times. Another time I went back to help them with their performance in front of camera and help them in that area, and yeah, giving back is nice.
And then so you went to university. Where at?
Called Middlesex University.
And you majored in?
Music business and management.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And graduated from there. And stepped into, were you doing music on the side all the way through?
Yeah, music on the side all the way through. Motown happened.
Yeah, Motown
Just
happened.
happening.
How did that happen?
Amara, she was looking for work. So I can't remember why, but she was looking for work, and then they got her in. And then they're like, oh, do you know any other people? She was like, oh, my sister sings. He was like, cool. And this was an American guy, actually. Dre, his name was. He's like, cool, get her in. You want to see her? And I think I went to a rehearsal room, and he was like, oh, let's see what you got. And I had to like sing there and then. He's like, well, you free this weekend? You ready to come in? So, yes, that's how I got that job.
And how long did you guys do that?
Must have been about 3 or 4 years.
So Motown, I mean, so you're doing shows and you're singing all the Motown hits. That's fun.
Yeah, loved it. That's how I got my Motown knowledge. And even before that, I think, during our rehearsals at home, we'd be singing Motown songs as well. So that was good. Yeah.
And so you do that for 3-4 years and transition to the next kid. Is this where Whitney Houston comes on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went and watched the videos of Shan Whitney Houston. So good. So good. A lot of fun. Brought me back to the 90s. There I am sitting with my tape recorder, or I couldn't remember actually. We had the Bodyguard soundtrack like on cassette. Somehow it fell into our library of cassettes, but I used to put that thing on. And I couldn't tell any of my buddies that I was listening to it, and they think like, what's wrong with you? You listen to, I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston. What's wrong with you? So good. It's so ridiculous. And again, the sax in that song is absolutely amazing. That guy, I don't know who he is, but he rips on that saxophone. It just like
Yeah.
blows your mind. But Whitney Houston, all time, I'll never forget her singing live at one of the award ceremonies, and it's like Prince is like they panned to Prince like and he's like moved to tear. You're just sitting there like, are you kidding me? You know, I mean, we're talking about. But anyways, when I saw you on the stage singing it, I got to watch some of the videos. I'm like, oh my, like you don't just walk. First off, you don't dare like walk on stage and sing like Whitney Houston unless like you
No.
kind of know what you're doing. Like never, like you should just never do that. Like, like I would never be able to come on the microphone again if I sang it right now because it's like I'm forever X'd, like from like ever. Like I just can't. No, but Shan gets on stage and absolutely like levels the place. I mean, it's like full band, live show, and she's just sailing. I mean, just sending it. It's so cool. And then the next shot, they were doing like clips or something. The next shot, she's like, she's got the leather jacket on, the white t-shirt, she's got the hair, and she's like doing the I want to dance with somebody, you know. It's like it's so good, the dance routine. I mean, it was it looked like a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Again, a lot of fun. And that helped me to strengthen back up again from, not being well and just strengthen my voice back up and understanding the voice and my, immune system. And, because I had terrible, whenever I'd catch a cold, it would be the extreme, like,
Really?
yeah, like in the hospital or something. It was really bad. But, and I had a few of those episodes on tour actually. But had a good team to like, support me through. But yeah, it got me to, strengthen my voice back up and train again and, had the best trainer, Whitney. So.
What are some of the important things of like, if you're performing or like keeping your immune system up and your vocals, like what are the rhythms?
Yeah, so the rest that you get when you're
So
on
sleep
tour.
is important.
Yeah, when you're on tour, your rest is interrupted. But then you need to learn how to if you just need to rest on and you're, sitting on the bus, you need to just learn how to do it. So I've mastered napping.
Nice. So cat naps everywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm good at napping and, what you eat, these things are important. And I think when I first was touring like Motown, I didn't eat that well. I was eating lots of McDonald's and
Sure.
fast food.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Exactly. And
Right.
yeah, no, that's no good. And
So that kind of stuff mad food can mess with your voice and your
Yeah.
ability.
yeah, and, and also, you got to keep fit. Like I'm very much active. I like going to the gym and stuff. So keeping fit and also, what your intake and what you put in your body and, you need some, electric food, antioxidants and the herbal teas and stuff like that. And that's really good for you. Steaming and just knowing when to stop and when to say no, when you can't do it. And also knowing how to work through your like if you've got a cold and, okay, that note is not going to work today. Okay, what's your alternative? Sort of thing, and thinking,
You know how to navigate around it.
yeah, knowing your voice well enough to do that.
Wow.
These
Little
things.
tricks.
Yeah. And being quick on your feet in the moment, just knowing what to do in those situations and still being able to deliver. Yeah, it's very important. And just having a good team to lean on as well. Yeah, so important.
Did the nuts and bolts of music and with your instrument and with your vocals, did that come in high school? Is that where that?
Yeah, so I suppose so. Started
Kind of
playing
the
the guitar.
the foundation.
Yeah, I started playing guitar at home. Dad would teach me a few chords, but then I remember at the Brit School, you get the option to have Perry lessons, they call it, to have singing lessons or whichever instrument. I was like, Dad, which one should I do? I was on the phone to him. I was trying to decide, and I was like, I want to do singing lessons, and he was like, no, get guitar lessons. And I was like, really? Like going to and from, like, really, Dad? Like, that's not the right decision. He's like, no, get guitar lessons. You're singing already every day. Get guitar lessons and catch up. Allow your guitar skills to catch up with your singing ability, so that you can eventually
Wisdom.
accompany yourself. Yeah. And I was
Wow.
like, okay, I'll do that. And glad I did. So
Yeah.
I started
What a
guitar
payoff.
lessons. Yeah. But I learned a lot at school. Not necessarily, I learned, things, but it's going in, but it's not quite going in
Sure.
until you actually do it. It was only, I think, touring, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I need to put this into place, practice now. And new things came up and Yeah, but the school was great because you get to perform and practice in that way.
Is the Whitney tour, is that kind of where you felt everything like click and come into place? Like, or was it in the Motown tour? Or is it beyond that X factor? You know, we can talk about that too. That's
Yeah, I think
fun.
things started to click. I got to a point in the Whitney show where I was like, okay, I'm ready. I feel like I've exhausted every corner of this opportunity. That's what usually happens, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to move on. Especially, I've done all I can do here. I feel like I'm outgrowing my space now, and I'm just earning money, which is great. But I like to grow and I like to
Sure.
learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to continue to grow. So I suppose that even X Factor was just a different side of things.
How'd you get on the show? So let's say, explain what X Factor is.
Oh, it's a a singing talent competition.
It's basically American Idol or the Voice, right? NBC's The Voice in
Yeah.
America, right? Do we have X Factor America? Is
You
it
used to.
okay?
Yeah. You used
Brit's
to.
Got Talent,
Yeah.
all of this kind of stuff, right? So X Factor is the big show in
In the UK.
the UK.
But not anymore. It's finished now.
Yeah, Simon Cowell.
I got on the last season because it finished after that.
This season 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how it came about, they usually scout for people. I used to actually, when back in the day with Dad, we actually went and auditioned, me and Amara.
No way.
He got us to audition, and then I think he auditioned as well.
Nice. Oh, Dad auditioning. I love it.
We're doing this together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we auditioned. So at that time, you queue up for hours and to be seen. So we actually did that process, and we got to the boot camp, and that's when we got cut. But me and Amara was like a group, a duo. But yeah, and then I love it because he was encouraging us from then, and he's like, "Go again, go another year." And Amara was like, "No, I don't want to go anymore." And I was like, "I'll go."
Yeah.
But then after a while, I went to the Brit School, and now I'm a cool musician now. I don't need X Factor. X
Right.
Factor wasn't as cool as much. And then it came about again, and they were starting to allow artists to do originals on the show. And I had just finished, finishing Whitney, wanting a change. And I was like, I've been releasing projects. I want to do more of my own music. I want to do me. When you're acting as someone else, there comes a point when you just want to do you.
Sure, totally.
And, I've got all the tools I need to, go on to this next stage of my life, original music. Shan, the artist, Shan Smile at the time. I was in that transition. So, yeah. They were scouting, and then they emailed me or something, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this. And then also The Voice emailed me.
Really?
Yeah, they emailed me and then saying, would you like to come on the show? Same time.
Wow.
And at this point, I'd been with my manager for a short while, current manager today, and yeah, and then the opportunity kept asking, and I was exploring it a little bit, but I was more leaning towards The Voice because I just really felt I really loved the environment and the people that were working for the team.
Is this The Voice UK?
Yeah,
Huh.
and I went in and had a meeting and stuff. And then my manager was like, well, I love how logical she is, Justine. Love.
Shout out Justine.
Yeah.
Taking care of you.
Yes. And she's so logical and like thinking, okay, what will benefit mostly for us, going forward. And then she was like, okay, well, X Factor's more reach at the moment and stuff like that. And, you're still able to do it's more clear that you're able to do some originals and, the reach was just much bigger and, where we're heading sort of thing. So, and, we need more reach, more opportunities sort of thing. So I was like, okay. And also what added to that decision was my brother. He was like, all for it. He was like, go, go, go. So also, introducing my brother, I have three other siblings as well from they have a different mum, but we all share the same dad.
Awesome.
So yeah, I was connected with my brother at that time and he was like, go, go, go for it, which was encouraging. So yeah, my manager was like, yeah, this is the decision. So we went for X Factor.
And you have to audition?
Had to audition.
What song did you do?
I did an original song called The Silence. And I did Never Enough, The Greatest Showman show. and that's it.
And they just who do you do it before?
First audition was in front of some producers. I didn't recognize them, but producers of the show. And then after that, I think that was the one I did, and then I went on to the TV one.
And so what was that like? I mean, being on TV and doing the whole thing, was that wild? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, it worked. And like, here I am, like standing in front of Simon Cowell and like all these people, and like it's happening.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like, I don't know, it was like, because we'd performed and we tried out for the show before. So going for it again and getting to that stage, it's a dream come true. So I loved it.
Yeah. And you did that I mean, you were there on the season. How long does that last? Is that probably like, is that like 2 months or 3 months of like just high level, just recording, singing, just like getting ready for the show? Like, what actually happens in there?
It's, how long did it last for? It was over some months. So
Kind of a blur?
A bit of a blur.
Yeah.
A little bit. I remember the stages, but the amount of time, it must have been about 3 to 4 months. So did the big audition, and then you do another challenge, 6-chair challenge, sing-offs and stuff. So grateful that I didn't have to like sing again, like compete against, like, there and then you compete with another singer. I just had a chair and I was secure. I didn't have to fight for my seat, they call it. Then we came to LA, to Simon Cowell's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my first LA visit.
Wow. Came to the house.
Yeah.
Is he in Malibu?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was really
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Full circle. Now you're flying over Malibu with Trav. What? Simon, I see your house down there. Sorry.
That was good. Like, this is a glimpse of where you'll be.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it at the time, but
Wow.
so that was like, even coming to LA was really nice. We stayed in a hotel, and then we did a lot of filming, and we did some of the sightseeing as well, which was cool. And yeah, spent a couple of days filming at Simon's house, and then he was like, "Oh, you're going to the live shows," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wow.
It is as emotional as it looks.
Wow.
It's amazing, and a lot of the filming, and that's why when you watch these reality shows, that's why you see people crying all the time, because being in front of the camera is just a lot, all day long, and
Totally.
talking, and it's overwhelming as well as the actual thing you're doing.
You're putting so much into it, and when it actually works, you're just like
Yeah,
a relief. Yeah,
away
just
from home, and
yeah,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, and then came back to London, did the live shows. It was great. It was really good.
Did it gain the traction that you guys were hoping that it would, you and your manager? And this helped carry you into the next season?
Yes, because remember, before X Factor, leaving Whitney, I was like, I'm ready. I've got some songs. I've been working on some songs. I want to share them. So going on X Factor, I only performed a few of them, and then they changed it, which is fine. They changed it a little bit, and then we went back to like the covers and stuff. And then, which was cool. I didn't get to bring my guitar out on that whole time. I was like, I still felt like I wasn't showing I felt like I was showing the Whitney Shan.
I see.
It was
I see.
The big vocalist. That was so even in X Factor, that they have their roles. It's almost like
They get you in a lane. Yeah.
There's okay, you got your this, you got your that, and I was the big vocalist.
I see.
And I just sometimes I was like, I just want to chill and play my guitar.
Yeah.
Everything big notes, But it worked well. It was good, and I mean, I'll look back at the videos now and be like, oh, some of them are good, really, really good. But again, training, in front of the camera, nailing it.
Totally.
Well, there's millions of people watching.
Yeah.
Nailing it that one time, that's tough.
Oh yeah, a lot of pressure.
But yeah, I got to.
You did amazing.
Thank you.
I love watching the shows.
Yeah.
It's just cool. It's cool seeing like you're such a warm soul and an easygoing person, and then it's like see Shan on stage like rock star.
Seen them?
Oh, I watched them this morning. I'm doing homework, Shan. I'm not messing around. I'm doing homework. I want to see. That's what's cool is like I didn't get to see any of that before
Yeah.
meeting you. So it's like I just know you through Trav and the church,
Yeah.
and it's like we got this superstar in the church,
Oh.
and she's just over here helping with chairs and loving on the people and singing to my baby and singing to Chelsea and just having fun, like, and it's just that
Sweet.
honestly that's been one of my favorite things about doing is I think it's one of my favorite things about LA is it obviously attracts the superstars of the world, but when you find those that are like just warm, genuine, just have the love of Christ in them, want to pour that on others, and it's fun to see the contrast. Like I think even you walk in here to the barn today, we're just hanging out, but it's like, but you don't know that like, geez, step on Simon Cowell right there. I'm going to blow this house up. Like you know what I mean? Like it's cool. It's a cool superpower to have, but then to allow, I don't know, and to have that right demeanor and right perspective, even at 30 years old, like to have that right focus, is difficult to gain so early on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it doesn't happen till you're 50, 60, 70 that you realize like, man, I was kind of like God gave me so much opportunity, but I was just so, thought I was the man, all the way through it. And it's like to have that is real special to have it up front.
Thank you.
But yeah, the shows are amazing. They're a lot of fun to watch. You can go watch them now. And so how did you find your way into Les Mis?
So, well,
Did you do some like some personal music like right after X Factor?
yes, I did. Because what was good about that that time, is that I had a plan. Me and my manager had a plan.
Yeah.
It's always important to have a plan
Yes.
with whatever you do. I mean, we plan and God has other plans, and that's fine. But I think it's still important for us to have a plan. So we had a plan and we had some songs, and we're like, well, we want to get these songs out, and but it would be good to have a bigger audience to get them out to. So yeah, I was able to, wherever I came in the show, my main goal was to reach the live shows, which I did. I wasn't, necessarily aiming to win. And I was like, it'd be great, but like, that's okay. This is winning enough for me. And I came at such a good place in the show, the quarterfinals, and
You're a finalist.
yeah, I was a finalist,
Yes.
and I think it was quite a shock for everyone to see me leave the show, which was,
Because
TV
they could
and
see that you're
media.
clearly way
Oh,
more talented and way like beyond, but everybody can see the TV in it, and it's just like, well, we got to keep this person on because of this. We got to keep that person on. It's like, yeah, what about Shan though? She's like blowing the roof off this place, and it's like, they do that a lot, right? It's just, it's like part of the show, right? It's like it's almost like sometimes they won't give it to the obvious, like they have to like go with.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, no, it was all good. I came out, and then I was able to sometimes you can wallow in the sadness of, I've come out, and when you're in that environment, you soak it all in and you're in that bubble. But thankfully, I'd came in with this experience and I left with good experience. I came out and I released a few songs, Beautiful I Am, Get Back, which went down well with everyone.
these are originals.
Yes. And I say that because I think after that I got in, who was it? Someone from Cameron McIntosh's casting agency, he runs Les Mis, and also Hamilton, Phantom. They got in touch with me, my manager, and said, oh, we'd love to see Shan for Hamilton. But even before that, when I was going for X Factor, I got an email from Cameron's casting agency and asking if I was interested in auditioning for Hamilton. So this was before I went to LA, and I was like, what's Hamilton? Who are the Schuyler sisters? No, I'm good.
Wow. Oh,
It's like one of three, I am the one.
Wow.
But I was not sure I didn't know about Hamilton. So I was like, no, but thanks for being in touch, and maybe in the future. I didn't really, I just said it. I was just like, maybe in the future, but yeah, I'm not around at the moment. The reason why they got in touch at that time was because I had been like auditioning here and there. So I'd obviously just finished Whitney. You go for these shows like X Factor, but you don't know what's going to happen. So I had auditioned before for musicals, which didn't work out that well for me. Like, I remember doing an audition and went terribly wrong. And I just went in the bathroom and I cried. And the girl was just like, it's okay, it happens. So I was kind of put off from auditioning a little bit. And alongside that, my sister was into acting. So she was doing that a lot. So I was kind of encouraged. So yeah, heard from Hamilton at that point. Went through X Factor. Came out of X Factor, heard from Hamilton again. And I was like, okay, this is that show that was in touch and they've been in touch. And Justine was like, this would be great for you. This works with your music and this, that, the other. And I was like, getting into the soundtrack. And I was like, actually, this is good. I love this. And then I really listened to the soundtrack. I was on my way to a function gig, a wedding gig, and listened to the soundtrack. And I connected with Eliza so much. I was like, that's my character. And then I came to audition, did the first audition. And I think I sang through all the sisters, Eliza, Angelica, Peggy, Mariah, and was like going through all the sister roles. I don't know what they were necessarily looking for. I think they were still kind of just open with it. And I went through about six rounds of auditioning. And then I got to the producers from America came to London. They went to London and they auditioned in front of them. And I was like, this has got to be it, this is my time now. And I got a no. So I didn't get the role of anything. And then, this is where it comes to your point now, months later, well, only like a couple months, I think, the same casting agency got in touch again to say, we'd love to see Shan for É-po-neen for the new Les Mis all-star musical concert that's happening in London. And I was like, okay, do I want to put myself through this again? And I was like, do you know what? Justine, she was my manager. She was encouraging. This would be great. She was like, well, it's different, but, I think it'll be cool to see how it goes. And then I hadn't really heard of Les Mis other than what we described earlier. And I, watched the film and I listened to the soundtrack and I connected with É-po-neen. I was like, I heard On My Own and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I can see this and stuff. And then I went into the audition room and I sang, I was On My Own. But the warmth I felt once I stepped into that room, I was like, I want to be here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so welcoming. The directors were great. It was new because I hadn't had any acting training. But they just believed in me straight away and they just worked with me, worked with what I had. I came into the room and they accepted what I had and I really appreciated that. And then I think that same day or the next audition, they said, have you watched the show? I was like, no. And they said, go and watch this evening. Got me tickets to go and watch. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, I can see this. And then I saw Cameron McIntosh. He's the very big UK, one of the biggest theatre producers in the world.
Wow.
So I auditioned in front of him. And his words were, you have a gift from God. Yeah.
Praise God.
It brought him to tears. And he said, you have something very special that we've never heard before. And, it's like the way. So, yeah, those words coming out of his mouth meant a lot as well, And especially someone as a believer walking in Christ. And,
totally.
Hearing that in that sort of industry.
Yes.
You don't hear it a lot.
Yes. So a man plans his ways, but the Lord determines his steps.
Yeah.
A woman plans her ways, but the Lord determines her steps. So you pointed this out that it's really interesting, right? Because that almost sounds like a very pivotal moment, like in your career, to hear somebody on that level say those specific words. Not you have great vocals, not you're an amazing performer, but like you have a gift from God. And it's like you said this, it's good to have a plan. And you put a plan in place. But it's like it seems like and you keep trying to follow that plan, but like the Lord keeps sending you on these like tangents, right?
Yeah.
To kind of like go and grab this gold so that you can, be filled and encouraged and
Yeah.
even trained in new ways and go on new journeys and adventures. And then you find yourself like back on the path. I mean, I'd love to hear you speak to that even more so, because it's like, I think a lot of people, I think even a lot of musicians, creatives oftentimes don't have plans. They're just like, whatever way the wind blows, I'm going to like find it, and it's just like, so what is it in the plan, and how does that meet, maybe God's plan, or have you seen that like go and happen in your life?
Yeah. It's funny you say that. What a song from my new EP is called God's Plan.
Nice. Let's go.
Tune. I
Okay.
can't wait for you to hear it.
Okay.
But what was the question?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times creatives don't have plans.
Yes.
So like it's good to make a plan, but then also, it's fun to watch it unfold in God's plan.
Yeah. Absolutely. Have the plan and be flexible. Knowing, but also me and my manager always say, know your why. Why are you doing this? Why? Just know your why for everything. Know your why. That was what I took with me everywhere.
Were you shocked by, I mean, what was your guys' strategy, and were you shocked, have you been shocked by the way that the road is turned?
Yeah. Yeah. Going into theatre like in this way, for sure. Strategy.
So strategy was more singer-songwriter?
Yeah. And a wider audience. And then that audience has turned into a theatre audience, which has been cool. And, although the whole Whitney and Motown, I was still performing in theatres. It wasn't always bars. It wasn't bars. It was
Right.
theatres.
Right.
So it's been so interesting. And
So I mean, on this end, like looking, you're just like, are you shocked that you've become an iconic theater person?
I'm still shocked.
Yeah, you can't receive it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, no, I am singer-songwriter. And you are, of course you are.
Yeah.
And you probably will be the rest of your life. But it is really interesting, right, to see that like the package that God had sitting there for you was to be on
I still think all the songs from young that I've written, my first song was called Don't Worry About Tomorrow from Matthew 6:33. That was, I was getting into my word then. And
I love it.
When we were introduced to church, and I had to write a song for the Brit School, a competition, which I won. Yeah,
Wow.
I won that one, and called Brit Idol.
Oh.
So I wrote a song called Don't Worry About Tomorrow.
Yes.
And Tomorrow Looks After Itself. It was my first ever song, and it was great. And I started writing songs from then and releasing little projects and albums that my dad would help me with. But every project has led on to the next, and just honoring that, okay, release it, finish it, go on to the next one. It's always led on to the other. So even until this day, although I may not be like the biggest artist in the world or in the charts and stuff, I know it's like it's for a reason. It's for a reason. I love releasing music and just honoring what God is doing in my life and creating in myself and writing. And I think it's, even if I don't understand why now, I will in the future. And I understand why, but I suppose it could be even more clearer in the future. And just like how we look at theatre, had my theatre career and all the theatres I did in the past, and we can see why now. I believe the same for music, but it just might take a longer time, and it's just throughout my life. And I love that I've written songs so frequently for every stage of my life. I think that's amazing.
Like a journal.
Yeah, it's like my own personal journal. My kids can look back on it and stuff like that. And it's beautiful. I really, really love writing, and the process of being in the studio. That's such a different feeling. It's amazing. Love it. Production, or just songwriting. I love the feeling of it. And now I just write gospel songs, Christian songs, and I love that.
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if when you stepped into Les Mis, did you know that it was laced with the gospel?
No. until I started reading the score, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like, perfect. That was a
Like,
great play. God, I see what you're doing.
Jen, I'm saying, I think it might be the foundational piece, like for the industry.
Yes.
Like, okay, so Les Mis is so gospel centered, but you don't ever hear the name of Jesus. It's like so wild because again, I didn't know anything about it, and like I said, I didn't know the story, and then I watched it. We were there in Italy and Rome, and I'm watching it, and I'm soaking it in. And again, I had just been studying Romans 5, 6, 7, and 8,
Yeah.
and I'm watching the gospel like almost like on fire, like burn through this musical, this movie. Like I'm just like watching it. I'm like, what is going? Like I can't believe the priest gives the candlesticks to Jean Valjean,
Yeah.
and the man is broken, like with grace, right? And then he goes on this journey, basically trying to, love and serve people and bless people, but Javert is after him.
Yeah.
The law.
Yes.
The law is after him, trying to condemn him and tell him, like, and that is the Christian life. Like, grace has set me free and I'm forgiven, but like the law is like always coming at me. You're not good enough. You're not you're not going to, just always coming after me. It's not till the law dies. When the law is put to death, Jovier dies in the end,
Yeah.
that Jean Valjean is completely set free from the law. And this is Romans chapter 7. It literally says that the law dies, and that is when we're set free. In Romans chapter 8, verse 1, we have no condemnation now for those who are in Christ Jesus. Like, no condemnation because Jovier is dead.
Yeah.
The law is dead. Like, it's not coming after you. Like, Jesus has set you free. And, like, the reason I bring all this up is I think the industry more than ever, I think through music, I think through movies, I think through TV, all of the arts, we need almost a resurrection of the gospel and the attributes of God, like blasting through the arts.
Word.
Almost without, so somebody could watch Les Mis and not maybe fully realize that like that's a gospel-centered film. I mean, a gospel-centered,
Even then, the people in it.
right? But if you watch, but the attributes, like you can't get away from the forgiveness that Jean Valjean receives. Like you
Yeah.
can't get away from these special acts that take place of kindness and grace, like in the musical, in the script. And I think that is what the attributes of the gospel, the attributes of the Bible, when we see these in art form or when we hear them in art form, they level us, but we don't know what we're experiencing. But the reason it levels us because we're made in the image of God and we're made to like hear this story and feel this story.
Yes.
And we need to infuse this like into the arts again, all over again. It needs to be done again. And that's what's missing from Hollywood. That's what's missing from the whole industry in this day. It's just dead like material. It's just like, what is this stuff anymore? Like it doesn't get at you deeply anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm believing and I'm hoping that there is this resurrection of this, that Christians people who love God are able to write in a new way and see in a new way that that can affect everyone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be overtly Christian. Sometimes it is. Like I actually want to write a gospel-centered, like Christ-centered song.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm just writing about life, but it is infused with the attributes of God.
Same.
Yeah.
It's like when I talked to Claude Michel, who wrote the musical. He's an amazing man, and he was obedient to the call, and writing. And I think it was a journey for him to even finish the project. The story name is him and Elaine, and but he was obedient to what God was doing. I think he grew up more Catholic and stuff, but like he was obedient. And that's why it's important, because it's the longest running musical now. And he's such a gracious man. Me and Travis have been for lunch with him and stuff.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's so loving and so supportive of what I'm doing and my gift. And they're, longest running musical. Now they're currently doing a world arena tour. they will be coming to the US.
How long's the musical been going on?
Since, oh gosh, I should know this, but 38 or 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I think. Apologies if I got that wrong. But yeah, longest running musical in the world.
I'd love to hear the behind the scenes of like how he like pieces together.
Yeah.
I love that you use the phrase, he just says, I was being obedient.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was given to him by God and he had to just write it down.
Yeah, he would say that himself.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And again, the team that he had around him, including Cameron McIntosh, they were all there from the beginning and, you know, pouring in and making sure it happened. Obedience and teamwork and believing in what they're doing and stuff. Powerful.
It's amazing that you already see this because you know what it means to be obedient.
Yeah.
It's like the Lord has called me to do something and I have to do it.
Yeah. And that also comes from like when we were talking about parents and being at home, home training and stuff. Knowing, even when you don't see why, when your parents are saying something, there's been enough examples of like me being at home and dad saying, oh, do this, or I think I'm making this decision. And I'm like, oh, what? But then after a while, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And God does that a lot in our lives as well. So yeah, obedience, trusting, even when you don't see the final picture.
So you got to do Les Mis for a couple of years?
Yes, I went through 2020 with Les Mis.
Wow.
That was good. I did the concert production and then the theatre production, which is like, concert was like you're standing at the mics and stuff, which was recorded, and we did the album. Which
No way.
So it's available. You can watch that.
Wow.
You should watch it.
Okay,
yeah.
I got to see this.
And then I did the actual musical theatre production. That was really good. And 2020 came, and it was nice because they were so supportive through that season because the theatres shut down. It was sad, you know, it was like the whole year basically.
Totally.
But the producers were so supportive, Cameron, with what, you know, with his actors. And was it during that I released another EP?
Nice.
Braveheart EP.
Nice.
And
Braveheart.
yeah,
Okay.
that was really good. And that was what I was working on during my time at Les Mis. And then went back to Les Mis again. It started up again. And then I did again, I think it was like 3 or 4 months. And then I finished. I think they asked me to stay on for another year of the production. But I decided not to stay on and, you know, try something new. Don't know what that was. But I was like open to something. I was like, something new come up. Which I'm glad I'd made that decision. And then I think after that I finished Les Mis. Then I was doing like different projects and wanted to work on my acting skills a bit more. I was getting into the acting now.
Okay.
And I wanted to just equip myself a bit better for more theatre stuff because that went, the debut, West End debut was amazing. You know, I got an award for it and everything. So
Yes.
it was a really great success.
Amazing.
Thankfully. And a great introduction into the industry. And then, I did like some other small productions, and I did the Sondheim, which is he's a composer who passed away, but I did that, and that was great. I think I released another project called God's Best EP.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
The title track is called God's Best, and that was about me and my waiting season. As a single woman.
Yeah.
You know, I went through like 10 years of just waiting.
Wow. Waiting for God's best.
Yeah.
Hey.
And I think 2020 hit us all in different ways. But
Sure.
for me, it also hit in a way where I was like, oh, let me take a look at myself in that area. I'm all career. I was like, oh, I'd like, you know, to experience love. And, you know, I'm singing about it and I've never experienced it in this way. And, you know, I'm like, how old was I? 28, 29. You know, it's like, it's time now. Your body tells you.
Yeah. It's
as
time.
a woman. So like, you know, I was like, I should be going out on dates and stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on? Or like, you know, I just wasn't in that frame of mind, and I was beginning to get in that frame of mind.
Sure.
And I was working on myself, like, what does it look like to be a Proverbs 31 woman? And, what do you do to, where do I go to meet the right people? And I had these questions as much as everyone else does. And although I'm like, around people all the time, I was looking for a certain type of man to be a part of life with. And I remember I started these Bible studies during 2020.
Oh.
And again, international, I used to listen to a podcast and he started these Bible studies and I joined them. He was an American. I think the podcast was called Right to Real Love. I really appreciated it because he'd talk about relationships and stuff and from a biblical aspect and a Christian point of view. And he really, me and Amara used to listen to them and we grew and we learned a lot. And we needed those, someone openly talking about it, but from a Christian point of view.
Yeah.
And then, he opened these Bible studies, which I joined. And then podcasts, Bible studies. And then I just was in the mind frame of becoming the woman aside from career.
Yeah.
A wife,
Yeah.
What does it look like to be a wife? And these things my dad would talk to me about a lot as well, because again, at this time, we're still living, we're at home. I think I'd brought a house. We brought a house, me and my sister together. Dad was still with us. And I was still learning different skills. Dad taught us how to cook and all of this stuff. And it wasn't easy for him. And I look back, I'm like, wow, well done, Dad. It's not easy. Because he was single, he was dating and he was trying to find his person, which thankfully he's found now.
Awesome.
Married and stuff.
Awesome.
But yeah, he sacrificed a lot of time to grow us. So yeah, it got to that point, 2020, and I was ready to want to meet someone. I want to prepare myself and be ready when that time comes. I felt like it was coming as well. So and it did.
It did.
But yeah, I've forgotten why I got into that point.
You found Trav. And Travis Burbanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. God's best. That's
God's
what it
best.
was.
God's best.
Yeah. So the reason why, the reason why I wrote God's best was because during these Bible studies, we were speaking about being single and stuff. Some of the girls, and I was just encouraged because I talk about singleness with all my friends. A lot of us were in the same boat. And then, I was like, let's write a song called God's Best. Or I wrote a song called God's Best. And just knowing that God will provide his best. And how you handle your waiting season and what you do in that time, your single season. And and then literally a year later, Travis came into my life.
Amazing. I think a lot of people think, when you're on the stage and you're doing the thing, there's just, there's all these people around you. And so it's of course you have 1,000, options. And it's just you're probably, but it's on the other end, you're I kind of just want to find a really solid, normal guy who loves God and where is he and why isn't he in these crowds? Where is this guy? And it's and you got your head down, you're in your career, you're driven, you're building, you're writing, you're trying to do what you've set your mind to. You've mapped out this plan and you're falling into it. And then you wake up one day and you're I think I want to get married. I'm ready. And God, where is he? Let's go. And praise God that season came around.
Yes.
And and this was in the middle of Hamilton, is that right? I mean, Hamilton is 2022 to 2024, is that right?
Yeah, so back on the timeline, I released God's Best EP.
Yes.
I did a UK and Europe tour.
Wow.
Well, no, Europe tour mainly.
Okay.
And then I did a headline show.
Oh, wow.
Then I did that Sondheim show, which is also available online. And then...
so this is a solo tour.
Yes. No, sorry. I was supporting an artist called Jake Isaac.
Okay.
Who also produced the EP.
But you're getting to do your own music.
Yeah, I was doing my own music.
Incredible.
So I was opening up for him.
Awesome.
But before that, just before I auditioned for Hamilton, so I remember I'd finished Hamilton got in touch. And I was saying, I'm not going to get in touch with them until, they'll reach out if they need someone like me. And they did. And then I asked me to come in and sing the material, and I did just one audition, and they
That's
said,
it.
yeah.
And this is what made you, I mean, just skyrocket.
Yeah.
This is what blew the doors open.
Even more, I suppose. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. It's, the fact that I was able to do one audition is incredible.
Right.
They filmed it and they sent it to the international American team, and because they have to sign it off because it's an American production, and they said yes, thankfully, and dream come true because I really wanted to be in that show.
Wow.
And I'm glad I wasn't in it the first time round. Remember, I got no the first time round. I look back and for sure I wasn't ready to take on a role like Eliza. Eliza is tough. So É-po-neen and doing Les Mis, even before I started the role as É-po-neen, I had the role, but Cameron got me in as the ensemble for a couple of weeks, like a month. So I was just in the ensemble learning, just getting used to the nature of theatre. And then I went on to É-po-neen. So yeah, that role prepared me to do a role like Eliza, for sure.
What are the most difficult things like in Hamilton? Like, what is it? Is it, what is the, I mean, you said you did 600 shows. What makes it so difficult on the inside? Like when you remember back, like being in there, like what, is it preparation? Is it consistency? Like what sets these people apart from everybody else in the world?
The characters or playing the role? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess like the whole thing, like it's yes, stepping into the character, and then like what does it take, I guess, to step into that role? Looking back on it,
it takes bravery, because the topics that she covers and goes through are quite emotional. It's a lot of, you're like on an emotional roller coaster throughout the show. She's like holding the highest singing line in the show. So it's like as soon as you get on stage, you're singing high in the sky. It's quite brutal, but her journey is like, so it's an emotional roller coaster. I think that's the hard bit, and then
because you're taking on her personality,
the story that you have to tell. Yeah, like the thing she goes through, like the breakup, then the loss of her son, and like you have to act these things out every day.
So yeah, are you absorbing it? Like, or are you able to disconnect from the moment, or is it? When you're singing the words, do you start to embody it?
Well, as an actor, you have to, you embody it, and so you're in the moment. You're acting as if, okay, my son's gone, or
right.
my husband's, the infidelity and stuff, or the joy of getting married, and so you're acting and you're stepping into her shoes, and like, what's nice is that with Eliza's character, I felt like I didn't have to stray too far from who Shan is. So that's why I was able to do it so naturally, I think. And that's why I think actors win an audience over, because they can really do it authentically.
Yeah.
That's where the truth comes in.
I see.
So with Eliza, it was she carries characteristics that I also feel like I carry. So it was like me. I understood. I sort of understood her a lot. But I suppose just acting in general is like you take on a character, and sometimes when you're going through things in your personal life, or of things that are happening, it can affect your performance, and it can, for the better anyway, but also it can make you even more emotional if you're if you're experiencing a loss or something.
Sure.
You're going to feel it that night,
Right,
and it's going to heighten your emotions a lot more. But I think the hard thing was showing up every day and deliver. It was hard to show up every day and to put your best foot forward every day. And
that's a lot of reps, man.
Yeah, every day, showing up and giving your, that audience the best show, the best that you have.
Is that fun? Was it? I mean, when the crowds though just like completely lights up, is that like?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
and the production itself is like, wow, the amount of people that are backstage, and as well as the audience, and their faces, and they're like, I get it because I'm a fan too. Like, I love the show.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and just the amount of work that is put into it from the company managers that are managing everyone in the building and everyone's emotions, and to the people that are high in the sky doing the spotlights and stuff. Everyone is playing a part. Everyone comes together. The songwriting alone, the work that the original producers put into it is amazing. So, I love the score. It's a hip hop style of rapping and singing, and it's kind of gives a Les Mis feel. I think Lynn said he took some inspiration from Les Mis and stuff, because Les Mis is also sung through. And yeah, Eliza's just sat so well in my voice and range, and it pushed me with how to use my voice and the higher range, and pushed me with acting through song. So I was able to display the right emotions, and what helped is that I was able to do like the Whitney stuff. So with the Whitney, you're acting through the songs, those ballads, you're acting through them, and I was able to do that in these songs as well.
Wow. But
also put the soul into it.
Yes.
And the reports that I received back, that people really felt it, and you're touching people 100% with your gift and with the story, and to tell that story. And also the powerful thing about the Eliza role is the forgiveness, how she forgives Hamilton and continues on the legacy that they've built. That's the powerful thing and the turning point in that show. And it's so beautiful. It's powerful every night. And there's so many moments in that show where you can where you can pray. Like she was a Christian woman, and a lot of the women that played the role before me, the two ladies, again, they passed on their love, and they advised me, like, pray through it. Use this role to pray, and like practice your praying, and remaining calm and in control of what's going on. Just how God like imprints his spirit on us. Like we can use that to control our own environment and stuff. So yeah.
Well, that is the magic. A lot of people can, not a lot of people, but there are a lot of people who can get on stage and just sing the part.
Yeah.
Right. And just hit the notes and do the thing and do the lines and all of the rest. But it's another thing to connect the soul, like, to the moment, and for that to be felt by the crowd. Like, and when that happens, that is the magic, right? When the gifting of the mechanics, meets the soul, and the fireworks go off, everybody feels it. It's the Susan Boyle's like moment, right? It's when it's like, oh my gosh, like it lifts the place. And I mean, I live for that, man. I love those moments. And I think that is it, Shan. It's like you're a singer-songwriter first. You're doing soul with your dad in the living room, and all of the different types of music, and it's in you. It's thoroughly in you. And then you step into the theater side of things, and you get to infuse that like into your performance, and that's what that's the superpower. And you've praise God, you've got it.
Thank you.
You've have you written any music about the theater experience and you got to, if you haven't, I mean, have you?
Well, not really. I used to like every time from Les Mis, in the dressing rooms we used to do some affirmations. So sometimes in Les Mis I shared dressing rooms, and when you're in the dressing room, you're all from different backgrounds. Not everyone believes in the same thing as you, but there's I found it was a nice way for us all to come together and connect, and we all want the same outcome here. So, and we all believe in that something positive. So I was like, can we do some positive affirmations? So I started those, and it was like, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm loved, I'm successful, I'm enough. And I brought that everywhere with me from Whitney days till Hamilton. So every dressing room I was in, any group of girls I was with, we say these affirmations whatever background you're from. And people really appreciated it, and it helps in the moment to just get focused and really know that it's beyond us, and it's more than, think about what is most important right now. Just counting your blessings. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm loved, I'm here. So from that, I know my manager was like, you should write a song, about these affirmations and stuff. So I think that's where the song All Right came about, and it's like my affirmation song, and just reminding us that it's going to be okay. Yeah.
Well, yes, we got to hear some of your music. We're going to hear a couple songs. I was going to say, if for you to take these experiences on these massive stages, the highest level of production in theater, and like bottle this whole experience up and like put it into like lyrics that can, telling the story and connecting from beginning to end, all the emotions and feelings and all of it. I mean, I don't know. It would be a fun rhyme, a fun poem, to work through, because that's essentially what I'm trying to download, is like, I'll never be on that stage, I'll never process like what you've processed going through there, but you've lived like 5-10 lives. I mean, it's like wild, like
Wow.
where you've come and where you are right now. And just
that's why
31 and a whole life to do. It's a whole life to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
God is good. Praise him indeed.
You're going to play some music for us.
Yes, I am.
Yes. She brought her guitar, and she's got the tea ready to go. And but you're going to play some tunes.
Yeah, that would be nice.
What do you want to play?
I'm going to play All Right.
Yes.
But first I'll probably do the Hagar song.
Okay. Let's do it. A Hagar song and All Right.
Yeah. There lived a woman taken from a land, Egyptian born, the tribe of Abraham. Before she knew her life was not her own, she bore a son, soon everything went wrong. So she ran away, far away to be seen. But there came a day she'd come back to him. So he called her name. Where have you come from? Where are you going? These are the words that the angel said. You've been running away from trouble, found by the water in wilderness. I'll never forget, I'll never forget you. Some things she'll never understand, that's 'cause it's all in God's hand. Rejection wasn't only for one time, He stepped in and protected her twice. When she ran away, far away to be seen, asking every day, are you the God who sees me? When he called her name, he said, where are you going? Where have you come from? These are the words that the angel said. You've been running away from trouble, found by the water in wilderness. I'll never forget, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget, I'll never forget you, you.
Let's go. That was good. Yes. Love it. Amazing.
We got there. I'll never forget.
Hagar.
Yes, he's the God who sees. So yeah,
Amazing.
very good.
And you're going to share another song with us.
Yeah,
And this
warm
song,
up now.
yeah, it sounds great.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds amazing.
So this song is called All Right, and it's from my new EP that's coming out.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And
This is coming out soon.
yes, so this is the affirmation song, and the song that
Yes.
where sort of sums up like just the thought process that I go through. This is a very simple song, just an encouragement, that things are going to be all right. Even, when I was backstage and for these shows, Hamilton, you go through the times where you're like, oh, am I going to get through it and stuff, or just life in general. And yeah, I just say you're going to be all right.
So words that you guys would say over each other, sing over each other,
Yeah.
say to each other as you guys are preparing to step on stage. But
Yes.
also it's a good song for life.
Yeah, and I made a song out of it, but you'll hear it. You'll understand where I'm at, and I hope it encourages you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You will heal. You will get better. Every wound and weakness needs gentleness. It's for a purpose. You are loved. You will find love. It's all around you. It's found you. So say these words out loud. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright. Sing it to the clouds, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright. You are joy, joy. Oh, that joy lives inside of you. So don't dwell in sadness. Start living in His presence. Ooh. And say these words out loud. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright. Sing it to the clouds, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright. So don't believe in any lie if it don't align inside. Goodbye. Forgive all your mistakes. There's a God who'll help you pray it away. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright. Sing it to the clouds. Alright, it's gonna be alright. You are successful. All these things you work so hard for. I'm rooting for you. I see you striving for more. Go get it all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So good.
Oh, thank
Amazing.
you. It's gonna be all right.
Gonna be all right. I love it.
Just some encouragement. Yeah, it's much needed.
And this is your new EP coming out.
Yes, the All Right song is on there.
Yes.
Hagar song is unreleased, but I thought I'd give you a special.
Well, we got the special, and it's recorded now,
Yes.
and so we have it.
I'm hoping to bring out some sort of, project of just Christian songs, and whether it's just acoustic and stuff, like at some point. So yeah, I'm just writing some more songs for that project as well.
So maybe in the future, then releasing a few more albums, or here on the horizon, you're a lot more singer-songwriter, a lot more Shan.
A lot more of that. Always the case. Especially when I have the time now, and in between shows or theatre shows, always writing.
We're excited to hear them.
Thank you.
And of course, you've written the book that kind of goes along with some of this.
Yes.
And people can find this online, correct?
They can. It's online, available to download, to buy. Especially if you go to my website. I'm arranging, the shipping for the US crowd. But yeah, I'm gonna get some more copies in and distribute them out here as well.
And then, I don't know, before we go, maybe some, I don't know, it's an amazing journey, right? And it's, like I said earlier, it almost feels like just incredible opportunity and being able to live a couple lives already, but then again, just getting started, like, so much beautiful things to come here. But it's not easy to step in, and it's not easy to pursue this. Maybe some advice, for those who are listening, who are trying to figure this out. Yeah, they want to know it's going to be all right. They want to know it can work out. But you don't just step into this industry, and you can't just, there is some certain things that need to happen. I don't know, I'm just reflecting on it all. Any specific advice or things that you feel like really stuck out in your journey that have helped you, get to where you are today?
Yes, I'd say your faith, really. Growing in my faith has been the key, and the key to getting through the ups and downs and the rejections, the no's. You'll get a lot of those, and that's okay. But just knowing that God has a plan at the end of it all, and trusting and working with what you have, and knowing that that's enough. Being you is all you need, and just develop yourself into the best person you can be, that God wants you to be. That's enough. And people want to see the authentic you. Even me, like today, cold, just got recovering from a cold, imperfections all over, but I'm
No,
me,
you're good.
It's all good, because I'm me, and whatever God wants to do in that situation.
Yes.
For someone else, whoever's listening, He will do.
Right.
And also, a big thing throughout my life, as you've heard my story, is just practicing as well, perfecting the craft, and doing more of that. I'm really grateful to Travis because he's been encouraging me a lot recently in my practice, and it's necessary, very key to perfecting. And so when you're positioned to bigger platforms, you're ready. And then also learning, like, when you're going to always be working as a team with people. The first team is your team at home. So work well with that, and God will open the right doors for you. So your foundation is home. So practice working well as a team in that environment.
Wow.
And then you will be able to work outside of that.
You're saying that some of the time with your dad has really prepared you to be able to work in other environments.
Yes.
And
sure.
really learning to work well with others is like absolutely crucial. It's like part of the reason people select people like right on the point. I want to work with that person. I don't want to work with that person.
Exactly.
Like as simple as that, right?
Yeah. That's key.
Like you got 5 people who have the talent, and it's like, who do we want to work with?
The person that's easiest and best to work with.
Wow.
And, that's you hear a lot of people say, lead with kindness, and it's true. Be kind, and it goes a long way. It does. And not just be kind, but be real, and be a good person to be around. That will open the right doors for you, and enjoy what you're doing again, and keep on knowing your why. Why are you doing this? Just because you see someone else and their Instagram?
Right.
Or is this what God is calling you to do? Is this your purpose? Is this the legacy you want to lay out for your family and stuff? And yeah, those are the main things, I think. Enjoy what you're doing for sure, because you've got one life, and just make sure you're enjoying it and it aligns with what God is wanting you to do as well. And yeah, you got to have the self-belief. It's really hard in this industry to keep going and believing in yourself, and the comparison is really heightened when you're out there, and the amount of people that are doing the similar things, or you compare yourself to others, and it's like, no, we want to see you, we want to know your story. And what's beautiful about God's creation is that we're all so different. Like, how incredible is it that God has created every individual and we all look totally different?
Right.
Like, that's the magnitude of his creativity. Like, it's not going to be like anyone else's,
Right.
and that's what's great. So, walk in that. And yeah, get into your word. I believe strongly, like, my faith, and there's only I suppose it's only until I got serious with my faith that things started to grow for me as well. And it wasn't because I didn't get into, doors don't open but just because what am I trying to say? I'm saying, like, it's because the root is the faith, and
Yes.
why I can handle these open doors.
Yes.
And why I can handle them so well, I suppose. So
the faith in being in God's word has strengthened kind of your foundation.
Yeah.
So you can step into these worlds and be okay.
Yes, exactly that. I used a lot of 2020 that's when I wrote songs like the Hagar song. And just really understanding God's word. I really appreciated that time of studying which I still do, but it was really intentional about going through each book, which then again I appreciate about Legacy, City Church. You really study the books and the word. It's not just a topic and stuff. You can get that everywhere online.
Sure.
But we're understanding God's word, and also doing that as a group, and then also individually, so helpful. And how it's amazing how God's word can speak to your life today through today, and it's incredible how any story you can apply to what you're doing today.
Speak
Try
into
it.
your situation.
Try God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've been able to minister to a lot of people on the journey, right? I mean, it's like, the Lord puts you in some unique situations, and it's amazing the words that he's given to you as you've been reading and studying and walking, and you get to impart that to those that you come in contact with. And you're doing it right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really blessed to be here, and to have made this transition is incredible. I'm grateful to Travis, my husband, and my whole wife. What? A whole wife to an amazing man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It feels great, and I'm just soaking it all in, I suppose. But
So we get to see. So the Shan in LA is here and happening now, and really a new adventure, brand new adventure on the horizon. Pretty exciting. And,
very exciting.
And we're stoked about this EP coming out. We can't wait to hear it. And where can people find you if they want to reach out, contact you, or where's the best places to find all that you're up to online? Or any social media platform, or anywhere that you like to engage with people. And Shan Ako, ShanAko. Shan officially is the @ but Shan, if you just type it in on Google, you'll find Some shows coming up in the near future, you think? What do you think? Maybe?
in the near future, for sure. I have to.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd love to, but I haven't got anything in place yet.
Okay.
Just laying the foundations now, married life, and getting used to my surroundings, creating, and enjoying that. But regularly posting online, which I enjoy, and engaging with everyone and singing the songs that I'm practicing. And yeah, really just, I could go on for a long time about all that God is doing, but I'm in a season of just surrendering to what He's doing, and I don't know what the future holds. I'm okay with that. You know, I do know that obviously I'm going to release an EP, but I don't know what He has planned for me. I've got like little plans and bucket list stuff, but I don't know. I'm just gonna wait well, as Chris was saying. Pastor Chris was like, you know, you're waiting season, you're waiting to see what God is gonna do, and that's where I'm at, and that's a nice place to be in my position, and I'm in good hands with you all, actually.
Well, we're
Travis, yeah.
We're blessed. We're blessed to know you, Shan. We're blessed to have you here, and you've been a joy to Legacy already. And yeah, man, the church family as a whole, we love you. We're for you. We're excited to see what God's going to do. And I think it's just the beginning. You know, it's like you said, turning the page, you know, in a chapter. And
can I just say?
Yeah.
Sorry, but like when I visited Travis, and I visited Legacy for the first time, like, again, stepping into the building and the people, it's been like, that was an instant click for me, and an instant confirmation about the move that I was about to do. So that's a testament to the foundation and you and Katie and all that you're doing, and you know how you guys have been so obedient and honoring God in your lives, and that shows through the church. And you know, that's been such a encouraging thing for me to receive and witness and to be a part of so early on in my journey here. And it's been so nice to I just feel so safe, and I'm really, really grateful to God for all that He is doing in the church. And also, yeah, because even when my sister came, she was just like, wow, as soon as you step foot into Legacy, you're like, I want to serve here. And that's powerful. I've never felt that before. So thank you.
Oh, you're kind.
Thank your family. And thank you to Trav. Sorry, I could go on forever. But also,
Trav, you over there?
I have to thank him, because I'm like, babe, the foundation you've set here is, I really thank you for that. And, you know, all the ups and downs that we go through life, and we've now arrived here, you know, God is good. God is really good. So I just want to take a moment to really respect that, honor that, because that's a key part. And nothing can move forward until you have the right foundation. So I'm enjoying this season at the moment of foundation setting.
Yeah, we think Trav's all right. He's a pretty good guy. No, we love Trav.
Bless you guys.
He's a good brother and integral part of Legacy. We're very blessed, and it's fun. I love this journey. You know, I love discovering the stuff and just seeing what God will do. And got a lot of stuff on the horizon. We'll see what He'll do. But thank you, Shan. Thanks for sharing with us today. Thank you for blessing us. Thanks for pouring out your gift on us. And yeah, shining that light in here. You know, you shine everywhere you go. Keep shining. Keep pouring that joy into people.
Amen.
And who knows what God will do right here in LA. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go get some lunch. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show today. We really appreciate you. And it would mean the world to us if you would like or subscribe, and you would write an honest review for us. It's one of the fastest ways to get the word out for us and to share it with others. And so if you don't like texting for a review, you can always voice to text. That's a fast way to write one and really help us rate the show and get it out to the world. Thank you so much for listening again. We hope it continues to bless you and encourage you each and every week, and of course, leave you stoked.